So when I was first asked to join this panel, I spent a bit of time thinking about what the topic was that I was going to present to you today. My knee-jerk reaction was to talk about something related to emerging technology. And those of you that know me know that I'm obsessed with it. I love it, and I love it how it's applied to financial services. And then I took a step back and I said, what can we do that's really important today that the industry isn't necessarily honing in on, where there's an opportunity for us to better serve customers? And there are two key segments that Javelin believes are important, where there's an opportunity to better serve clients. Small businesses, and on the consumer side, baby boomers. These aren't typical segments, not ones that you'd normally find in an analyst presentation, because many of us are focused on emerging technology themes, ourselves included. Much of our research focuses on that. But the question that we have is, how can you apply emerging technology to these segments? My favorite tweet from day one of Finovate while the demos were going on were, how many times will I hear the word millennial today? So shout out to Emma Chase for playing right into my presentation. Thank you very much. This is exactly the reason that I've chosen to zone in specifically today on the boomer segment. So why baby boomers? There's a number of key reasons why we have an opportunity today in financial services to zone in and help this segment. And this goes beyond the classic, hey, let's help them with retirement planning. There's a lot more to it than that. First and foremost, and I'm going to do a fast drill into some stats in just a moment, they're users and adopters of smartphones. They use them, they have them, and not only that, they use digital banking. And I'll show you some stats on that. They have really complex financial needs. There's a lot going on for this segment. Everything from the classic retirement planning to things like unexpected expenses that pop up, the need to care for a loved one, the ability to be able to pay down student loans, whether they're for themselves or for a family member, so on and so forth. They really require assistance. There's a lot of advice that they need. There's a lot of guidance that they need. And we have an obligation in the financial services community to help all segments of the population. And this one needs a lot more attention. And this segment is one that needs to be served today. So rapid dive into some stats. I often hear, hey, they're not users of digital. That comes up a lot. Absolutely not true. If you take a look at some of the data as far as their adoption of digital banking, for online banking, they're currently sitting at 70%, and they follow the same growth trajectory as the rest of the population. For mobile banking, the adoption has been slower, but look at how quick that growth curve at the bottom is moving. It's sitting at 40%. Through our digital banking benchmarking program, we ask consumers of all ages about their satisfaction with digital banking. And one of the questions we ask is, what's ease of use like? And for those at the bottom, for online banking, green scores denote the highest scores. They actually find online banking really easy to use. The mobile results are a lot more mixed. However, we do expect that to climb rapidly in conjunction with that rapidly accelerating adoption growth curve. When asked about their channel of choice, boomers say, we like to bank online, 52% in 2017. And their second choice, not surprisingly, is the branch. But it breaks down from there. As soon as we get past the point of transaction processing, in which the bank is more or less a utility, and into something like financial advice and guidance, which is a key requirement in financial services, we lose folks once they pass age 35. And when they asked, would you turn to your bank for financial advice? The numbers are on a steady decline. So I'm coming to you today here for this audience to say we have a requirement to help this segment. We need to apply emerging technology specifically to this segment and try to build solutions for them. What do we need to focus on? Let's deliver meaningful insights and advice. There's no shortage of data. We've been focused a lot here at Finovate on solutions that leverage data, everything from artificial intelligence to others in order to provide financial advice to customers and better guide them along their individual financial journeys. We have to emphasize the role and importance of digital tools. Not only are they users of digital, we know that they like it. They like online banking. Mobile banking is on its way, and it's their preferred channel of choice. We can also take advantage of the growing mobile adoption curve in order to provide solutions for that segment that are mobile first, mobile only, as that number creeps up. And finally, as we look towards the branch experience, We all know that branch numbers are going to shrink. That's not a shock. However, for those that do remain, there's an opportunity to reorient them. Are we going to use the branch to point folks towards digital solutions? We should. The branch is not a place to process transactions. However, there is an opportunity for certain segments of the population. And I'll circle back to my comment about small businesses. Folks like small businesses and baby boomers have a key opportunity to actually use the branch for something different, should they so choose, and the data shows that that is still their preference. So I stand before you today with really a call to action for the industry. We're surrounded by financial institutions, startups, mature players in the software space, investors, etc. And my call to action is this: let's come back to Finovate next year and see a host of solutions that are geared at an audience that really requires our financial help. Thank you.